It's a lovely weekend in April, and we've been hunting to the greenhouse for little bits of color as the warmer weather nudges forward the blooms of early spring. My name is Joe Greenhour. Welcome to Emerald City Orchids. A lot of wonderful things have opened around the greenhouse this week, and we'll show you more of those in a few minutes. But first, a little bit about our project this week. We got a fun project this week. We are going to start, it's a two-parter. The first half, we're going to start potting up a bunch of babies. We ordered in some babies. These are what's known as a plug. These plants are actually about 3 years old. They come from a breeder who then sells them to someone like us who will grow them for another 2 or 3 years before they start to bloom. This is a big thing, one of the big parts of the business here. And I got my little one helping me. It's good. This is a fun project to do at home. This is the plug. This is what one looks like. This is an Encyclia. You can see it's grown in this foam. It's this weird foam stuff that the roots go right into. They use this material for a lot of plants, babies, not just orchids. And here's the little batch of stuff we got all spread out. There's a lot of things here. There's some Vanda hybrids and some small form Cattleya hybrids, a couple of Cattleya species. We have a few Dendrobium species. And then big bushy mess right there is all the Sharry Baby hybrids. This is a Sharry Baby. It's not a Sharry Baby. Sharry Baby is a famous chocolate orchid. This one's called Heaven Scent. It's got that same Sharry Baby chocolate smell. And this is what the plug looks like when you get it off, get all that foam stuff off of it. There's the roots. The roots were in the foam. There's a new growth you can see. And our mix today is a fine grade bark with perlite and just a little bit of charcoal. I like to throw some in the bottom of the pot. And then I tuck the roots down in there, and you're kind of holding the plant in place while you tuck the medium in around it. And one thing about orchids is really important with potting orchids is you got to pot them kind of tight. So you'll see I push the medium down with my thumbs. And then at this time of year, for a lot of things, we use this time-release fertilizer, just in this pellets. So I throw just a couple of those in there, and those will, over the next 4 to 6 months, release fertilizer into the plant. During the summer months, when we're watering them generously and they're growing a lot of leaves, it's a good time to give them that fertilizer. And then that's what it looks like in the pot. You want that new growth to be in the middle, and you put a tag on it. Doing one's quite easy, just a few. But I think we have 150 of these Heaven Scents today. And these things they're pretty fast growers. They might actually bloom. Some of them are already spiking. They might even bloom this year. When I do that many, I wear gloves. It's better to wear gloves. I just showed you barehanded, but that's just because it's easier to demonstrate without the gloves on. Takes a while. This takes a couple hours to pot all these up. And this is, not the most entertaining work, but you can get into a Zen mode while you're doing it, and you get some music playing, and it's a fun thing to do on an afternoon. Then we spread them out, get them all spread out on a bench. We ordered just enough to fill this whole bench, and then it's important to water them. Give them that first watering. You want to water them gently, water them generously, get them a lot of water. And they'll be ready to go in a little bit. Fun plants. Some wonderful things have bloomed around the greenhouse this week, like these two spectacular Paphiopedilum bell royal. Paphiopedilum bell royal is a primary hybrid of Paphiopedilum rothschildianum and Paphiopedilum colopokingii. They're fairly easy to grow. They need water a few times a week, and they like a filtered light. A little morning or afternoon sun might be all right. The temperature range is wide, but they do require quite a bit of room as they are large. And on the smaller side, we've had these Restrepia chameleon open their flowers, commonly called the cockroach orchid, because they resemble tropical cockroaches. And more mastivalias are starting to open. We are getting some different varieties now, like this lovely orange hybrid. One of our favorites is Encyclia garciana. It is a peculiar characteristic in that it blooms upside down for some reason. And another curious upside-down bloomer, Dendrobium malbrownii, a plant of a decent size that's not overly generous with its flower. It does give you a little bit of color in that throat, which is again upside down. And in the same family is Dendrobium sulcatum, a lovely semi-deciduous species. Takes quite a bit of light and water in the summer, but in the winters, when the days are short, let it dry out a bit, and it will perform very well for you. We hope you enjoyed our adventure in orchids this week, and will join us again next time.